I spent more than 1,000 hours in 2024 trying out different features, different AI tools, hundreds of videos on our YouTube channels, countless hours on podcasts, trying to understand what happened in 2024. And today, whether you're joining us live or listening on the podcast, I'm going to recap the top AI features and tools of 2024. So maybe learning AI or implementing AI in your business is a top priority for 2025, and you're wondering where to start. There's literally thousands of AI tools, and the big ones like ChatGPT and Perplexity and Gemini, Microsoft Copilot are getting updated on a weekly basis. So where do you start? You start here. All right. This is our top AI tools and features of 2024. I'm excited. Let's get started. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for joining us. My name is Jordan Wilson, and this is Everyday AI. This is your daily live stream podcast and free daily newsletter, helping everyday people learn and leverage generative AI to grow your company and your career. If that's something you're doing, welcome. This is your new home. We do this every single Monday through Friday, except holidays. So happy New Year to everyone joining us. It is our first live show of 2025. I'm excited. There's a lot of things that we have in store for you this year. But like I said, there's probably a lot of people brand new today listening on the podcast or on the live stream. If so, make sure you go to youreverydayai.com. Sign up for our free daily newsletter. Today's show is going to be jam-packed. So if you missed anything, or if you want to go listen to more than 430 past episodes, all separated by category, whatever you want to learn, our website, that's where you do it. We've interviewed hundreds of the leading experts in the world from companies like Google, OpenAI, IBM, Microsoft, I mean, everything. And then startups, everyday business owners, whatever you are trying to navigate with generative AI, we've already done it. And it's on our website at youreverydayai.com. All right. So normally we would go over the AI news for the day. We're going to have that in our newsletter. We have too much to get to. So let's jump right into it and talk about our top AI tools and features of 2024. Hey, live stream audience, thank you for joining us. It's gonna be a hopefully a packed one there in the live stream comments. So yeah, maybe you're a longtime podcast listener. We do this live 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, all that good stuff. Thank you for joining us, Michael and George, Harvey, Michelle. Everyone, Jackie, happy 2025. It's great to see you all. Douglas, Ronald, Christopher. Hey, everyone. Dennis from New Jersey. How are the drones? All right. So, you know what? Also, make sure you're active in today's comments. There's a lot. I looked at who's attending. There's people from huge tech companies watching live right now. So get your, if you want to network with others, say what you are, say who you are, what you're working on, where you're from, all that good stuff. All right. So like I said at the top of the show, I've spent, I don't even want to count because it's embarrassing, but more than 1,000 hours just trying out all the newest features, updates, and tools. Yes, I spend multiple hours a day doing this, whether we're building something for a client, right? So clients hire us to help them learn AI and start using AI in their company, or whether I'm just doing, a new update in ChatGPT or Claude for our YouTube channel. Multiple hours every single day, all year. All right, so you don't have to be lost. I'm going to cut through the fluff right now. So a couple things about this list, y'all. This is not the best AI tools. That's not what this is. All right. This is just the top or the most popular. All right. So obviously 2024, we did 24 of the biggest AI updates, or in some cases, new tools, right? So there's some very popular AI tools that didn't really have big updates in 2024, right? Like as an example, like character AI, all right? There's a lot of them that aren't going to make the list. So before you start harassing me and being like, hey, Jordan, you missed blank tool. Well, it probably didn't get updated in 2024. This is just what's new, what's hot in 2024, the most talked about tools. All right. So These are for everyday people as well. So there's obviously some fantastic niche tools for certain verticals, certain types of businesses. That's not this list either. Also, I'm not putting up a bunch of random, old GPT wrappers, right? These AI companies that I think will ultimately get squashed. So that's not what this is either, right? So any kind of tool that I put up on my list as a top, or best tool of 2024 or feature, it's not going away, right? A lot of people are pushing a bunch of garbage out there on the internet. That is not me. I personally believe that a lot of the big tech companies, Microsoft, Google, OpenAI, Claude, Anthropic, Meta, they're going to be crushing hundreds of, quote unquote AI startups that maybe came out in, late 2022, 2023. So that list, this is not that list, right? If you want a bunch of flimsy AI tools, everyone else on the internet's covering this. This is just the stuff that you can use right now, today, to grow your business. All right. And I've used almost all of them extensively. All right. Everyone, take a look at the screen. Here are the top 24 tools. All right. I'm not going to make you wait until the end. But what I want you to do, live stream audience, you can only vote once. Okay. We're going to have a People's Choice Award because at the very end, I'm going to tell you which is my top tool. All right. For the year, but we're also going to have a People's Choice. So all you have to do right now, if you're listening on the live stream, go ahead and type in the number. You see them up there on the screen. And for our podcast audience, I'm going to quickly rattle them off and we're going to go over one by one. And then we are going to tier them. Okay. We are going to rank them on a tier list. All right. So I actually made this tier list. Let's see if I can get it to work here. That's not the right one. There we go. So, made this in Claude Artifacts. So, there's a tier list. I don't know how this started, super popular here on the internet, right? So it's essentially S, A, B, C, D. So S, I believe, stands for super or something like that. A is A, B, C, D, right? So S is the best, then A, then B, then C, then D. All right, so we're going to be jumping over between these two screens, and ranking them all by tiers. All right, and if something's a D, that doesn't mean it's a bad tool. It could be really, really good, a great tool, a great feature. Just because something's a B doesn't mean I don't like it. So I'm going to give you my quick hot takes for every single one of these 24 tools. Here they are. Again, live stream audience, get your vote in. And this right now, this list is just alphabetical order. This isn't my top list, all right, or my rankings. 1, Apple Intelligence. 2, Advanced Voice Mode from ChatGPT. 3, ChatGPT Canvas. 4, Canva Magic Studio. 5, ChatGPT Search. 6, Claude Artifacts. 7, Claude Computer Use. 8, Cursor AI. 9, 11 Labs Conversational Agents. 10, Gemini 2.0. 11, Google Deep Research. 12, HeyGen V3 Avatars. 13, Meta Llama 3.2. 14, Midjourney V6.1. 15, Microsoft Copilot Studio Autonomous Agents. 16, Microsoft Copilot Vision. 17, Notebook LM from Google. 18, OpenAI's O1 Pro. 19, Runway V3. 20, Sora from OpenAI. 21, Stream Realtime from Google. 22, Suno V3. 23, VO2 from Google. And 24, Zapier Agents, previously called Zapier Central. All right, so that is our list. If you don't need anything else, you can leave now. I'm not going to be offended. All right, but we're going to go through, I'm going to talk very quickly about all of these tools. And again, these are tried, true, tested, and vetted. Some of them are brand spanking new. Not all of them have general availability either. Here's the other thing. If something's only out in beta, I didn't put it on this list, right? Because there's others that I probably would have included. So almost all of these have general availability, except for, I believe, VO2, although enough people have access to it and have shared about it that I felt comfortable already putting it on the list, and it's that good. So that is our list. Live stream audience, I see a couple of y'all have voted. So if you are live, all it takes, just get your vote in now. Just type the number that you think is the best or top tool. All right, just put in the number 1 through 24. I'm going to give y'all just 2 more seconds to get your votes in, and we're going to be putting the people's choice, your choice. I always said everyday AI, it's for all of you. Right. This isn't just something I run the show, right? I schedule the shows, but y'all run it. So what is your top AI tool or feature? Again, there's a lot of great AI tools, or features that just didn't make the list because they either, I have an honorable mention list actually. So if you want access, I believe there was another 20 tools on there. If you want access to the honorable mention list, just go ahead and share or repost this show. And I'll send that to you as well. Little added bonus for those of you that, help us out and share this with your friends. So we have that list as well. So, all right. I think most of y'all got your vote in. Hey, Luke, ChatGPT projects was actually on our honorable mention list. It didn't make the top 24. There's a lot of great updates that just didn't make the list. It is tough. All right. And yes, some of these are standalone kind of pieces of software. Some of them are just big updates, but all of them tried, trued, tested, and something that you can use to grow your business literally immediately. All right. Enough chit chat. Let's get to it. We're going to be ranking all of these right now. Let me just get my list here so I can copy and paste and you don't have to watch me fumble through. All right. Like I said, yeah, we do have an honorable mention list. I believe it's 20 some. List is already done. Click that repost, share if you're listening on LinkedIn or Twitter. I guess those are the only places you can share it. And then just hit me up with a DM or a message and let me know you shared it, and I'll send you that list. All right, number one. And again, this is just an mostly alphabetical order list. All right. So number one, Apple Intelligence. Yeah, this was often talked about. So it was just fully introduced in iOS 18.8. This is Apple's AI, right? Essentially, I'll say this. This is stuff that we essentially had like 3 years ago in a lot of other tools. For me, there's nothing revolutionary about Apple Intelligence, and it does actually rely on OpenAI's GPT-4o model for more complex queries, right? So if you're asking Siri something that's especially difficult, it just uses ChatGPT. It is a combination of edge AI or on-device AI, which is great, right? So kudos to Apple for doing that and still prioritizing security. But for, like I said, for more complex queries, you're just passing everything off to ChatGPT anyways, right? So let's go ahead and live stream audience, let me know. Can you guys see my screen here? I'm going to be jumping back and forth between my two lists here. So let me know if you can't see anything. So our first one, Apple Intelligence. In this tier list, actually just made this real quick on Claude Artifacts because all the ones online, so these S, A, B, C, D, they were just plastered with ads and I literally couldn't even use them. So in about 2 minutes, I just made this in Claude Artifacts. Can we see it? Let me know. Can we see it? Oh yeah. And everyone, get your vote in for each tool too, right? So Apple Intelligence, is this the best? S, super, A, B, C, or D? All right. Hopefully y'all can see this Claude Artifacts. So Apple Intelligence, D. All right. Doesn't mean it's bad. All right. I don't know. Nothing good. I tried it all. Nothing in Apple Intelligence impressed me hardly at all, right? Like I said, it's all stuff we've had for many years. Apple is just extremely late to the party. I don't know. Advanced voice mode. All right. Advanced voice mode. This is from ChatGPT. This was originally demoed at OpenAI's kind of spring event and was just finally released in September with limited features. And then the features were upgraded in December at OpenAI's 12 Days of OpenAI event. So finally, it does have access to the internet which is great, which it previously did not have. Also, it has video access. So yes, you can show it something. This is amazing. This is what I think the future of AI is. When it was first released, it was a little buggy. I did a review probably the day after I got it. I think most of those bugs have been worked out. So if you're listening, maybe you haven't used advanced voice mode from ChatGPT. You do have to be on a paid plan, but you are literally talking to a neural live agent that can see, right, on your phone, on your iPhone, right? So you can show it a photo of something on your whiteboard. You can, show it something on your desk, something that's broken. I've already been using it a lot for things like that. I'm the least handy person ever, right? I can do just about anything in front of a computer. I don't know how to work a screwdriver. Right. So I've been using advanced voice mode a lot for, I wouldn't even say projects around the house because I don't do actual projects. Right. I use a computer and hire someone, or my wife uses, an app to hire someone to do projects. But I mean, for small stuff, it's like, what's this? This is broken. Look up this. Right. Like it's actually really good for that. So what's everyone's vote? Is it S, A, B, C, or D for advanced voice mode from ChatGPT? All right. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Brian says A. Peter says S. Luke says A for advanced voice mode. Let's go ahead and see where is this going to make it on our list. All right. S. Our first S, or super. I think that's what this list means. Super. I don't know. All right. But advanced voice mode. It's up there. It's up there. All right. It is an S. Let's go to number 3. We're going to keep this going quickly. So we have Canvas from ChatGPT. This is low key. Canvas is getting slept on. So what I liked originally about some of these, essentially GPT wrappers or AI writing tools, one of the ones that I've been using since it came out in, when was this? 2020 was Jasper Jarvis, right? But one thing I always liked about it is it's in line, right? And I've been saying, like, since ChatGPT came out in November 2022, I'm like, we need inline AI, right? Because that's how people work and operate. They don't work and operate in a back and forth chat, right? You need to be able to have a document that you can work in and talk with ChatGPT in anywhere in that document, right? And sometimes what would happen when you're working with large language models in a back and forth chat format is you might just want to change a couple of things, and you either then had to just copy and paste it and do it manually, which ended up being a huge waste of time, or you would just have to go back and forth with a large language model just to change or tweak a couple of things. So with Canvas, you can just change a couple of things, right? You can go and collaborate. I do think this is a huge step toward augmented intelligence, which is really working hand in hand versus, I think, a general chat mode when you're just pinging back and forth with a large language model. It's actually very unintuitive, right? That's why when ChatGPT first came out, I'm like, not that good, right? Because I was used to using all these other GPT tools that had inline AI editing. All right, so what do y'all think? Get your votes in, y'all. Canvas for ChatGPT. So like I said, I think Canvas is absolutely slept on. I think it's great. I do think that we're going to see a bunch of Canvas clones, right? I've already seen it in a lot of these other like third-party AI tools that I use. They got these new, essentially Canvas modes, which is great. I do think ultimately you're going to see them from Google. You're going to see it from Microsoft. You're going to see it from Claude. There's no way around it. These large language model companies are going to have to offer this. Same thing with Meta. It's just too good. It's too intuitive, especially for people who are non-technical, right? Because it does feel much more like working in a Google Doc, working in a collaborative page, right? This feature, not exactly this feature, but Microsoft Copilot Pages, right? Another one that made our honorable mention list, I believe. So, where does Canvas go? Gladys said Canvas A, and so did Christopher, and both of them are right. All right, so that did make our A list. Hey, everyone, can you let me know yes or no? Can you see both screens here? I'm using this in Claude Artifact, so hopefully y'all can see it. All right, number 4, Canva Magic Studio. All right. there's so much in Canva's Magic Studio. We actually had their top AI person, Canva's head of AI, on the show to talk about Canva Magic Studio. So that's the other thing, y'all. Like when I talk about these things, when I give you a list, I'm not just some random dude like, oh yeah, this is fun. No, I've spent, like I said, more than 1,000 hours using all these things. I've talked one-on-one with the people who are building these things. I found bugs. I'm having conversations with people from all of these companies, right? So I don't make this list lightly, just FYI. I just had to mention like, oh yeah, Canva Magic Studio, talk to their head of AI. All right. So this one's different. And this is, if I'm being honest, aside from ChatGPT, technically Canva is the tool that I use the most. All my crappy slides that you're seeing on the screen right now, right? Like I make everything in Canva. So I use Canva's Magic Studio a lot of kind of new AI features, Magic Animate, Magic Edit, Magic Expand, Magic Grab, right? So a lot of things that used to take me a long time, hours in Photoshop like 8 years ago, now you can do in seconds with kind of Canva's Magic Studio. So live stream audience, what do you think? Is this S, A, B, C, or D? Let's jump over. Where does Canva Magic Studio go? Kevin says, what's up, Kevin? Kevin says, I always feel restricted by Canva. It's good, but not amazing. B. Brian says it's a B. Daniel's loving Canva Magic Studio, says it's an S. All right. Here's my take, Rial. Canva Magic Studio, D. Doesn't mean it's bad. It's fantastic. I love it, right? But when we're talking about the top AI tools and features of the entire year, just because something makes the D tier does not mean it is bad. It's just, I can't give everything an A, B, C, D, right? So this is comparatively. So I think it might be one of the better, kind of AI design tools, but at least when it's compared to everything else, right? I was trying to weight these evenly. It made D tier. All right. ChatGPT search. All right. So ChatGPT search, it integrates web search capabilities into ChatGPT. One of the things that I think, let me just say this. This is big, right? It's a big step for how people use the internet. ChatGPT really did go all in on this. This is one of those they first released as a prototype search GPT. They did a pretty limited beta for a couple of months, and then they released it to the general public a little bit later. So if you don't know anything about ChatGPT search, it's that little globe icon now, right? If you use ChatGPT, sometimes ChatGPT knows that it will need to use or search the web. Personally, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not. I liked the browse with Bing. ChatGPT search, there's a huge problem with it. I've been actually saying like, oh, do I need to do a show on this, or should I just be talking, to my, contacts over there at OpenAI to let them know? There's a couple of things that are very broken in ChatGPT search. I honestly think, right, there's things that are better, right? There's things that are better. It gives you more of a search engine experience, bringing in rich text, snippets, so certain things, if you're searching for like local events or something, right? ChatGPT search is great for that. It does give you much more visual, better UI, UX, but from an actual iterative, talking with ChatGPT search iteratively, if you're trying to have it go do research and it comes back and then you're trying to improve or modify it, it's actually oftentimes broken and it gets stuck in a loop, right? So you can send a query to ChatGPT. It's going to use ChatGPT search. It comes back, it does some research for you, and you're like, hey, this isn't right. Actually, I was talking about D, E, and F, not A, B, and C. And what happens is it just gets stuck in a loop, right? It's actually kind of broken. I hate to say that, but that's the truth. But maybe that's my experience. Everyone else, what do you think? ChatGPT search, where does it go? Is that a S, A, B, C, D? What do you think? Daniel says D. Robert joining from Twitter. What's up, Robert? Robert says uses Grok for searches. I will tell you this, Grok didn't even make my honorable mention list. I think it's garbage. That's just me. And I use a lot of large language models. Yeah, they have all the compute in the world. They have users on X/Twitter. It's not good. All right, B. Dr. Janet says, B. All right. Sorry. Sorry, y'all. ChatGPT search gets a D for me. It does. Doesn't mean it's bad, but I will say there's a lot of things that are kind of broken with ChatGPT search. All right, 6, Claude artifacts. All right, if you don't know Claude artifacts, I mean, it's literally what I'm sharing on my screen right now. It's been out for a while in 2024. This was an earlier 2024 release, but essentially it renders code, right? So now in Canvas mode, which I did put as an A tool. So Canvas mode can now render Python, right? Which is great. But with Claude artifacts, you can render just about any type of code. So you can, as an example, you can have ask Claude, in the new 3.5 Sonnet, which didn't make my list. Not that impressive, y'all. The 3.5 Sonnet new or 3.6 Sonnet, whatever you want to call it. But whatever you have Claude generate, it can render it, right? So you could be doing just, I don't know, HTML and CSS. You could be doing JavaScript. You could be doing Python. It can just render, which is amazing, right? Render mockups, render websites, render games, all in the console there. So it splits the screen into two. If you haven't used artifacts, it's amazing. All right. So it's much different than Canvas. So Canvas is an editable kind of document, right? Where you can play with it inline. That's not what artifacts is. Artifacts can just essentially render all different kinds of code, and it's pretty robust and amazing. All right. So Robert says it's an A. Kevin says artifacts A, but could go up to S. All right. Everyone else, hey, I'd love to hear from y'all. I definitely don't want my bias to show through here. But I mean, here's the reality. I'm literally using Claude artifacts for this tier list because there were things that I try to find some of these on the internet and they were just littered with ads. And I'm like, I can't share this on my screen. Right? Like you can't even see anything. I love artifacts. I use it every day. For me, it is a tool. I'm like Kevin. For me, it was teetering between A and S. If you would have asked me in November, before we had an absolutely nuts December from OpenAI and Google, I probably would have said S. But right now it's A. But for me, it's borderline. I don't know. Maybe if enough of you say it's S, maybe I'll modify the list here at the end. All right. We got some people saying A, B. Love Claude. Jackie says it's an S. Yeah, it's borderline for me. Maybe I'll change it. Who knows? You guys let me know. You can change my mind. All right. Number 7, Claude computer use. All right. So this was released, I believe, in October. We did a dedicated episode on this. This is a very, I would say, early and archaic version, if I'm being honest, of agents, right? So you can talk to Claude in real time. And then computer use can essentially go do things. It can go Google something. It can go browse websites. It can create charts, from information on a website. But it is extremely clunky. It's not great for everyday people. That's what this list is for. You have to know. You have to know a little bit. Like I said, I did like a 101 show on this. I showed you guys live how to do this. It's not the easiest thing. You got to know a little bit. I mean, it's not hard. It's just a little cumbersome, right? Some copying and pasting. You might have to download kind of a virtual environment like Docker. So it's not super intuitive, but I think it's, hey, to Anthropic's credit, they were the first. Right. We've heard rumblings from OpenAI coming out with their operator. We saw, Google with originally what was codenamed Jarvis, now called Project Mariner. That's going to be a Chrome extension that literally does the same thing. But I think technically Claude was the first quote unquote big AI or tech company to have a working version of a programmable agent. It was clunky. It didn't feel very intuitive. The rate limits, like anything Claude, were absolutely terrible, but they were first. And it's, even though y'all, I'm giving this, and let me know what you're giving it. Even though I'm giving it a D, doesn't mean it's bad. They made the list first. I should have tested my Claude artifact here. I wonder if I'm going to run out of room. Hopefully not. Kevin said it's a D. Robert said it's a D. Jackie said it's a D. Nothing special. Luke said it's a C. George just said unfamiliar. Yeah, George, you didn't miss a ton if you haven't tried it yet. All right, let's keep going, y'all. Let's keep going. 8, Cursor AI. Cursor, it's an AI coding tool, right? I'll say that. There's a lot of them, and a lot of them made my honorable mention list. And I think even in the last couple of weeks, a lot of these other kind of Cursor, quote unquote, competitors have been getting a lot of love, a lot of attention. GitHub actually made their tool free. So Microsoft's GitHub is now free, very similar. A lot of these are forked, essentially forked versions of the same thing that have been modified. But I would say Cursor was kind of, they technically weren't first, but I think they were the first kind of dedicated AI coding tool to go viral in 2024. Like I said, GitHub Copilot, Tab 9. So many of these other ones have been around longer, but I think it was the combination of, they use outside tools, right? So I think it was the combination of some of these other tools like Claude 3.5 Sonnet, the new version, GPT-4o, a lot of these other large language models that these tools use got good enough at the right time. And they just had a good enough, user interface and user experience. You can go in there with a tool like Cursor and create a fully functioning web app with a little back and forth, even if you don't know how to code. All right. There's a lot of other ones, Windsurf, Lovable Dev. There's so many, but Cursor, I believe, is the only one that made our list. Live stream audience, what do you think? Daniel says Windsurfer should be an S. Windsurfer made, I believe, my honorable mention list. It did not make my top 24 list. I think Windsurfer, couple weeks or a month or two after Cursor. And I do think for most use cases, I think for everyday people, Cursor is maybe a little bit better. All right. So let's jump in. Cursor, where does Cursor go? All right. Cursor is going to be our first tool at the C level. Doesn't mean it's bad, y'all. Doesn't mean it's bad. It's really good. It's amazing. If you want to know the basics of coding, yeah, there's a lot of options. Windsurf, is it Windsurf or Windsurfer? I forget. So many tools. I've literally tested out probably, 500 of them this year, probably a lot more. So C for Cursor. All right, let's go. 11 Labs conversational agents. All right, so 11 Labs is probably one of the best text-to-speech platforms. I've used this as a test, right? I did some testing in there. Pretty cool. Essentially, think you can build drag and drop kind of trees, right? Essentially, you could route, people on your website. You can use it for customer support, but you can have essentially text-to-speech agents. And you can kind of create a visual flow that you can even send it to different agents, and you can give these different agents or different kind of steps in your flow, different knowledge, right? Which is huge, right? So it's essentially uploading or connecting your knowledge base to an AI text-to-speech platform. 11 Labs, I still think, is probably the leader in this space, although they do have a lot of competition from others. 11 Labs isn't new, but in 2024, conversational agents were their big new feature. All right, so where's this going to go, y'all? S, A, B, C, or D? So 11 Labs, conversational agents. We're going C tier. All right, I'm gonna shorten this. I'm gonna just say 11 Labs agents. There we go. Bam, C tier. Let's keep it going. We're gonna go fast and furious, y'all. I don't want to keep you here for 2 hours. Google Gemini 2.0. This is again, Google was on friggin' fire in December. So many releases. OpenAI had their 12 days of OpenAI or 12 days of Shipmas. Google was just, they woke up and silently chose violence. No marketing, no hype. They came out punch for punch. And I think, I'm not going to say knocked out, but they went toe to toe with OpenAI. And I think in the end, Google had a better December. I had a hot take Tuesday on Google's 2024. I'd say they had the worst, 3 years for AI of all the companies except December. Google cleaned up and I think really turned it around in Gemini 2.0. Its biggest updates right now, those are just the experimental versions. Those are not the final versions of Gemini 2.0 or Gemini 2.0 Flash, which if you're working on if you're a business leader, trying to connect something on the back end using their API, I mean, instantly Gemini 2.0 Flash is something along with GPT-4o Mini, maybe DeepSeek V3, maybe, Claude 3.5 Haiku, right? Some of these lower cost, very fast, very affordable kind of large language models that you can build on the back end. All right. Where is Gemini 2.0? I mean, here's the other thing. It's number one on the LM arena, right? On the chatbot arena. So it right now, technically, according to blind benchmarks, right? Blind tests from users, you can put in a prompt, get 2 different responses, and then there's millions of votes. Right now, it is the top model. All right. So Gemini 2.0 gets an A from me. Me and Jackie are on the same page, and Brett. All right. If you haven't used it, it's fantastic. No, the versions right now are experimental. These aren't the final versions. Nofia says, I refuse to use it. All right. Let me know why. And hey, I'm gonna feature some of our favorite comments or hot takes in our newsletter. So if you want your insights to be seen by tens of thousands of people, get your comments in now. I'm gonna pick my favorite hot takes or a couple of them. So I want to hear from you guys. Jay Anke says Google Gemini is really powerful for small business owners. Absolutely. Gemini, A, Brian. Yeah. So you guys got it right. It's not right or wrong, but you guys agreed with me. All right, let's keep it going, y'all. Google Deep Research. All right. So I have mixed feelings. All right. I will say this. You guys noticed Perplexity did not make my list of top 24 AI tools or features. Number one, they didn't release anything groundbreaking. I think a couple of their incremental feature updates made my honorable mention list. Again, if you want access to that list, just go ahead and share, repost this. I'll send this over to you. I might also just include it in video form so I can give you a quick 5-minute hot take if you want that on each of those honorable mentions. Google Deep Research is both amazing and a little frustrating right now. So if you haven't used it, essentially, it's like Perplexity. It is an answers engine. So it uses Google's cache of the web, right? Because Google has the entire web cached. What that means is it saves essentially every web page in a huge database. And that's why it can work very quickly. So, you can use something like Perplexity or ChatGPT search, ask it for an answer from the internet instead of going to 5, 10, 15, or 20 websites. Something like ChatGPT search or Perplexity will just give you an answer by going to 10 to 20 of them and give you highlights with sources. Gemini does that times 10. So with Deep Research, it's brand new. It's only been out for a couple of weeks. I did a dedicated episode on this. If you want to know more, it's fantastic. So it oftentimes goes 200 to 300 sources because it has it cached. It's slower, so it might take 2 to 3 minutes, but it will go and look in its cache of updated websites and literally go through hundreds of web pages to give you answers. The one reason why I don't think I can make this an S right now is it's not super steerable, unfortunately, at least not yet. So I am going to bring this up with some of the people that I talked to at Google. So right now, unfortunately, even though it's powered by Gemini, you can't steer it a ton, right? So you can't ask for certain outputs. You can't, as an example, ask for, bulleted lists. It's like, hey, I can't do that, which I get. So unfortunately, right now, the output is just long paragraph forms, long paragraph form. Sometimes the output is a little too generic. So if you want to get super granular, very detailed on something, this is not the tool to use or the feature to use. But if you are doing general learning and you got a huge project and you're like, yo, I'm going to spend like 10 hours because I got to do a bunch of research, use Google Deep Research. It's fantastic, right? So like I said, if you're an expert in something already and you want to deepen your expertise, I don't necessarily think Google Deep Research is the tool for that. But for anything else, it's fantastic. Like I said, I wish it was more steerable. I wish you could have a little bit more fine-tuned control of the outputs. Hopefully you will be able to soon. It's not great at iterative prompting either. It's kind of like a one-off, right? Because you literally give it an assignment. It confirms it with you. You click start research, and then you check back in 2 to 5 minutes. I did actually have one go to 1,300 web pages, right? So it's essentially a web researching agent. You give it your task, it confirms it with you before it starts. You give it 2 to 3 minutes, you come back. You do have to be on a paid plan of Gemini, and I believe you can only have 2 concurrent chats going at the same time. Because at first I'm like, yo, this is amazing. I'm gonna have 100 of these going. You can't have 100. All right, where does this make the list for you guys? Where does this list go for you guys? Peter says S. Jackie says X. Kevin doesn't have research access yet. Peter says B. Douglas says it's a sleeper. I agree with Doug. It is, for me, it was borderline AS. So either S, super, the best, or Google, or A, second best. So it does get the A treatment right there. It was close. It was on the border. All right. HeyGen V3 avatars. So this was the only in HeyGen just released their V3 avatars, I believe, in November. So brand spanking new. It's only been out for a couple of weeks, but extremely impressive. All right. There was some other AI avatar companies that made the honorable or features that made the honorable mention list, I believe, but HeyGen V3 was the only one. Super realistic. The thing that I like is it with text, right? So you can do a clone of yourself. They have essentially AI avatars that that you can have as a template. I'd say there's about 3 companies, 3 to 4 companies that are kind of, the quote unquote leaders in this space, and they all kind of go back and forth, and it depends on what you want, right? But there's Synthesia, there's Hour One, there's HeyGen, but with HeyGen V3, I would have said it was a tighter race before this, but with V3, I mean, HeyGen's in the lead now, so they are. So right now with text, you can tweak emotion in the voice, in someone's face. Really cool. Some of the other platforms you can do this, but it's more of a drop down. But I think this new version from HeyGen V3, it's just a little bit better. So have any of you guys used HeyGen? I'm curious. I mean, there's also other cool things you can do. You can translate things live in other languages. But for me, HeyGen, it is our first B tier. How did we get through half the list and we didn't even get a B tier tool yet? All right, let's keep it going. Actually, no, this is our recess. We are halfway through. I got to get this going faster. I don't want this to turn into a 2-hour podcast. All right, so let me know if you haven't voted already. Go ahead and vote. I'm going to do the people's choice. What is your top AI tool or feature for 2024 live stream audience? I have this screen up one more time. If you didn't get it, if you joined halfway through, all you got to do is drop the number. I'm not going to reread them. Y'all can see. So I'm going to give you about 10 more seconds. If you haven't voted already, we're going to do our People's Choice Award. I'm going to give you my top tool at the end. Yes, we are ranking them by tiers. If something's a D, doesn't mean it's bad, right? Just FYI, because that means they beat out thousands of other tools, all right? This is just the top 24 tools, but this is for you. We're going to put our People's Choice Award in our newsletter. 5 seconds. Go ahead, get your vote in. Just put the number. A couple other people voting here. All righty then. Let's go. 14, Midjourney V6.1. I think 6.1 was a pretty big release. So if you haven't used Midjourney, I don't have time to go through what's new, but it's everything. It's Midjourney, I would say, was one of the first most popular AI image generators. It is extremely flexible now. All right. So it just has more and more features, more and more things you can do for consistent characters, creating different screens. So when you talk about AI video tools, which we're going to get to, so many people start in Midjourney. I love Google's Imagine 3. I think that made my honorable mention list. It's really, really good, but I think Midjourney V6.1, I think it's actually on V6.3 or something like that. But I think V6.1 was probably the biggest iteration of 2024 for Midjourney. So what do y'all think? Is that going to be an A, B, C, D, S? What do we think for Midjourney? Let's see. We got HeyJourney. Oh, I went out of order. That's fine. All right. So what did you all say? Luke says A, Daniel's loving Midjourney, says S. LinkedIn user here says B, A, B. All right. Well, for me, it's a B. All right. Our second B tool, Midjourney. I think I forgot to put one on my list. I'm a human. I make mistakes. All right. We'll see if I got it later. All right. Microsoft Copilot Studio Autonomous Agents. Y'all, I'm not going to waste time. This is an S. I don't care. I don't care what anyone says. If you haven't used this, if you haven't looked it up, my gosh, it was just fully released. It was actually on my birthday. So I was out at Microsoft Ignite. They invited me out there to go see what was new. Microsoft Copilot Studio, autonomous agents, no code. You don't have to be an expert. You literally just go type in conversational tone. If your organization is a Microsoft 365 Copilot organization, so if you've rolled out Copilot to your entire organization, you need to start using Copilot Studio like yesterday. It's amazing. Like I said, it works with all of your dynamic data, which is the biggest difference between things like, ChatGPT or Claude. You have to upload your files, right? And this is autonomous agents. It can be triggered on anything. Hey, every time I get this type of email, go check my SharePoint, go update, go look in my Outlook, like whatever, right? Anything within the Microsoft 365 ecosystem, you can literally no code, you can low code it too, but no code talking in natural language. You can literally build an agent that autonomously does all of these things. This is not up for discussion. I don't care. It is an S. And it is not even close, right? If you haven't used Copilot Studio and autonomous agents, it is only our second S tool. I'm going to say Microsoft Copilot Studio autonomous agents. This is going to take up too much room. It's an S. Sorry. Y'all should use it. Michelle says, hey, Jordan, will you also share your honorable mention list? If you go share this, right? Sorry. Sometimes, I get so many DMs like, oh, Jordan, like, thank you so much. Like, this is so helpful. I'm always like, go tell someone that. All right. So if you go repost this on LinkedIn or Twitter, I'll share that list with you guys. All right. Let's get back to it. I'm going to go a little faster here. 16, Copilot Vision. So if you haven't used Copilot Vision, this is from Microsoft. You have to have a paid Copilot Pro account. So that is $20 a month. I always get it confused. I'm sorry, y'all. I got to Google here. I always is it Copilot Pro Plus? Some things are Plus, some things are Pro. I get confused. So yeah, Copilot Pro, $20 a month, and you have to use this in Edge. So this is different. This is different than advanced voice mode, and I'm going to be talking about Gemini Live here in a second. So a lot of these use what's on your screen, right? So with Google, as an example, you can share your screen with Gemini, but it only looks at your screen. With Copilot Vision, which is brand new, it doesn't work with every website. Right now, there's a very small list of websites. Otherwise, I would give it a higher score. But what it does is it can see everything on that web page, which is different than how a lot of these other quote unquote live, large language models can see and interact with your content, right? So in many cases, it just takes a screenshot of what's on your screen. It essentially uploads it in the background to the large language model, kind of uses computer vision, and then it gets back to you. Copilot Vision is different. So like I said, you have to be on Copilot Pro, you have to be using the Edge browser, and it is limited to just a dozen or a couple of dozens of websites right now. But it is friggin' amazing. It does work with some popular websites like Amazon, like Target. I was actually trying to do in AI in 5, a little YouTube tutorial, and for whatever reason, it wasn't recording the voice. And I tried like 3 different ways. So I don't know why, but extremely impressive because it can see everything, things that aren't even on your screen. So I do think, again, when we talk about autonomous workflows, that's huge, right? Because it can see things that you can't even see and instantly analyze. Let's say you have, a huge Amazon list or something on Target. I think Williams-Sonoma is another place. There's some like booking websites, right? And you're like, oh, I'm trying to find something, under 3, let's say you're trying to find like a booking, somewhere to stay. I forgot which site it works for, right? And you're like, I want something under $300, with a nice view, blah, 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 right? So versus having to scroll down and look at a list of 96 results, it'll do it for you. Have any of you guys used this, by the way? So Microsoft Copilot Vision. I know a lot of people haven't used it yet, but for me, it is C. The only reason it's C, to tell you the truth, is it's very limited right now where it can work. And I wish that it was that you could access it anywhere, but it's a little limited right now in terms of where you can access it. All right, Notebook LM. What do you guys think? If you've listened to the show, you probably already know where I'm going to put Notebook LM. But Notebook LM, it's pretty good. Have you guys used it? If not, I don't care. You can hang up on me right now if you're on the live stream. Thanks for sticking around for 15 minutes. Go ahead, hang up on me. Go use Notebook LM. It is literally out of the box, no code RAG, retrieval augmented generation, a state-of-the-art model that is grounded. What that means is, like, you could upload a bunch of information about your company. All right. And you could ask it something else. It only gives you answers or responses for what's in your uploaded documents. It is great for not just learning, but I think this is a simplified way to, like I said, get a state-of-the-art RAG large language model powered by Google Gemini in seconds. No code. You can copy and paste. It can literally, I did the math and I'm like, yo, there's no way this is right. 50 million words if you're on the paid plan. So there is a free plan. There's a paid plan now that they just rolled out a couple of weeks ago. And the other feature, so y'all probably know it has this kind of deep dive audio overview, right? So you can, have, I don't know, 10 million words from 50 different sources. You can click a button and these two AI podcast hosts are going to have a conversation about it. But now there is, which I think, and I did a video review specifically on this if you want to go see it. There's a new join live feature, which you have to have the paid plan to get access to. But you can literally at any point, right? So it might make a 5-minute podcast. It might make a 20-minute podcast. At any point, you can click the join live button and ask questions and the host will answer them. It is, can we just have like a little bit of appreciation here for how uniquely amazing this is, right? I'd say a year ago, I was getting kind of tired of everything in the AI space, right? Because everything was kind of the same, right? It's, oh, new models. Okay, good. It's, Gemini 2.156 or, ChatGPT 4.024, right? It's, okay, fine, right? Oh, another AI tool that, is a ChatGPT writer. Oh, another AI image generation tool. When Notebook LM came out, it was, I think, probably the second most unique AI tool ever made, ever, next to ChatGPT, right? Because they kind of started the wave. So what do you guys think? I don't know. Okay. Jackie says A, wish it had more flexibility. Kevin says S, awesome tool. Dennis says you need to be able to invite others. Well, now you can, Dennis. So if you are on the paid plan, a lot of people are confused, like, how do I get the paid plan? And that one is called Plus, not Pro. I don't know. Everyone else, can we just come up with something else aside from Plus or Pro? Or can we all get on the same page and say Pro is $20? It's confusing because ChatGPT Pro is $200 a month, but Copilot Pro is $20 a month. And then Plus from Notebook LM is $20, right? So you get access to Notebook LM Plus if you are or your organization is a Google Gemini subscriber. So if you have the 20, I think it's either $20 or $30 a month for Google Gemini Advanced. So if you have that, you have access, and then you can share with anyone else in your organization who also has that same level of access. And you also get, I believe it's 6 times the limit. So instead of 50 sources, you get 300. And I think that's what takes you up to, I think it's 50 million words. This is why I'm like, y'all, companies 3 years ago were paying $1 million for something like this. And Notebook LM is better. It's better. All right. So you might have guessed, for me, Notebook LM, no doubt about it, S. It is our third S tool. So far, our cream of the crop is advanced voice mode from ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot Studio, autonomous agents, and Notebook LM from Google. It's so good. All right, a couple more. OpenAI's O1 Pro. So this is the first reasoning model that was made publicly available. So O1 came out, I believe, in September. So if you are brand new to large language models, or maybe you're just an everyday user, you're not, a power user. So essentially you have your quote unquote transformer models. That's what mostly everything has been up until lately. So, your whatever model you're saying, Meta 3.1 or, GPT 4.0 or Claude 3.5, these are transformer models, right? So now you have this new tier or new breed of large language models. There's no official name for them yet, but a lot of people call them reasoners. All right. So there's essentially a prompting technique. And this is kind of what our prime prompt polish kind of teaches, but it's an iterative prompting technique. It's chain of thought. Where you essentially steer a large language model with multiple kind of back and forths to go where you want it to go. That's what these, reasoning models do, such as O1 Pro. I know Google Gemini has flash thinking, which didn't make the list, but it's still very, very good regardless. But O1 Pro, to me, this might be a shocker. And you do have to have that $200 a month. So I get that this is the first expensive AI tool, but I use O1 Pro every single day. It is by far, I think, the most impressive large language model. Yes, I know the chatbot arena doesn't say so. The chatbot arena says, it's Google's new Gemini 2.0. But for me, it's an S. All right. We have our fourth S with OpenAI's O1 Pro. Obviously, they announced O3 a couple of weeks ago. I don't believe anyone has access to it yet. They're probably going to give it to 5 people, right? They couldn't do O2 because of some naming rights. So they did already release O3, which is wild to me. So we'll see if that even becomes publicly available in 2025, because right now, one report showed that even single prompts cost $1,000. But it was benchmarking AGI levels, not even human levels, right? But O1 Pro. So if you have the $20 a month, you have access to O1, which is still a very good, very capable model. On that $200 a month Pro plan, you do have access to O1 Pro, which is a special version of O1. Yeah, Douglas says S. Brian says S. LinkedIn user, sorry, I can't see your name. Just a bunch of S's. Yeah, George, I know. I think I missed Meta Llama 3.2. I'll get that. But you know what? I'll just do that one right now. So Meta Llama, it wasn't on my slide list, y'all. I am a human, but we're going to put Meta Llama 3.2 right there on our B list. So it's not truly open source, but it is a more open model that a lot of other companies have been using. And it's y'all, to have a state-of-the-art model that is not proprietary, that you can go and build on and, fork and use for your own purposes. That's wild, right? So Meta's Llama 3.2 was on that A-B tier. I eventually decided to put it on the B tier. I think if it would have came out with the big version, so they only came out with their small and medium version in terms of parameters. I think if they would have came out with their big version, which I'm guessing they should any day soon, I'm guessing that would have been an A, but right now it's a B. All right, Runway V3. Runway V3 AI video tool. It is impressive. So it's not the best outputs. All right. But I do think, at least right now, it is the most flexible video platform. I will say it is more like a creative studio than an AI video tool, right? Like Sora, like Veo. So the outputs are definitely top, right? Not number one, but top, right? Top tier outputs. But I do think Runway V3 was one of only 3 AI video tools, because I think this is going to be the trending category, one of the 3 trending categories in 2025. So I do have to, definitely shout out Runway. It is very amazing. Live stream audience, what do you think? So I'm going to put this Runway V3. What did everyone else say? Sometimes I just like to see. I know there's a little delay because I'm like, oh, am I giving it too much credit? Not enough credit. Runway V3 gets a B. Very solid. Very solid. All right, couple more. We have our last 5 tools. So Sora, what do you guys think? This one I went back and forth a lot on Sora. So Sora was the much hyped much delayed, right? I believe this was previewed in February of 2024, and it wasn't released to the public until December during OpenAI's 12 days of OpenAI. And for 2 days, at least, it was either 2 or 3 days, it was by far the best AI video model out there. So not nearly as flexible as something like Runway, which has been around for multiple years. So they just have more features, and there is a little bit steeper of a learning curve with Runway. Sora is a little, I think, easier to use, but it's less flexible, at least right now. But there's so much hype around Sora, and there was a 9-month gap between when it was announced versus when it was actually released. But Sora, what do you guys think? What's everyone say? Michael says C. Douglas says B. Kevin gave it a D. Jay Anaki, or sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, says B. Jackie says A. All right. So Sora, it's going B. So good. It's great. Is it the best ever? No. Is it problematic sometimes? Sure. Doesn't quite understand physics yet. I don't think Runway does yet either. I think Runway understands physics a little bit better than Sora, at least right now. I don't know how long that will go because Sora has more users, right? The more users and the more time, the better the platform comes because you're essentially training the models to get better, right? So I don't think Runway has the user base. They've been around for longer, but Sora is, ChatGPT is the biggest player out there, right? Even bigger than Google. Like, they have the market share, right? They are the Google of search. OpenAI/ChatGPT is the Google of search for AI. They have more users. Even when you look at, Google, I know everyone, kind of tweaks the definition of what a user is, right? I'm guessing Twitter/Grok is going to be like, we have 1 billion users, right? It's like, no, you don't. No one uses it. All right. Couple more tools. Stream real time from Google. So this is a little niche. But I think it's still for everyday people. I already went on a big rant about how I think Google and Gemini really stunk for their go-to-market and made it hard for people to find things. But this is good. So Stream Real Time is you have to be inside Google's AI Studio, which I know it's primarily for developers, but it's not hard to use at all. This still makes my list for everyday people. So this is essentially Stream Real Time is one of the options within Google AI Studio, and you can talk with Gemini live. You can also do that. Now the Gemini app on iPhone or Android, you can talk to Gemini Live, similar to advanced voice mode. I think advanced mode from ChatGPT is a little better than Gemini Live. However, on the desktop version of Stream Real Time inside of AI Studio, powered by Google Gemini's models, you can talk with Google Gemini. You can share video in the same way that advanced voice mode can share video. So if you're working on something, you can share your video, share your screen. But then, like I said, also share your screen. So it's really good. A little different than Copilot Pages, a little different than advanced voice mode. I wish it was on the front end of Gemini, right? Gemini.google.com, but you do have to go into Google AI Studio. Has anyone used this yet? Michael says it's an S. Interesting. Okay. Janka Lee says B. All right. I don't know. To me, I did a review of this. I didn't, which I wish there was a little bit more transparency because I didn't know if you're actually using 2.0, Gemini 2.0. It kind of has this heading that appears you are using Gemini 2.0 when you're using Stream Real Time. It didn't feel like it to me. I did a couple of reviews. I played around with it, right? As an example, I shared a landing page. I shared the Everyday AI homepage, right? And I'm like, oh, give me some tips. How would you improve this? What do you see, right? And it didn't do a great job. And I did this a couple of times with a couple of different, use cases. So it did a good job of, like, quote unquote, seeing what's on my screen. It did an okay job of being able to, give me some insights, but it did not, when I asked for things very specifically in a very specific way or output. Advanced voice mode from ChatGPT was much better. Microsoft Copilot Vision was much better. I don't know why. It seems like there's a slight disconnect between the quote unquote vision capabilities and actually the model. So hopefully, I don't know if it is actually using Gemini 2.0 because I would have expected a little bit more. However, it makes the list. So just because I'm putting this as a D does not mean it is a bad tool, because it still beat out thousands of other AI tools and features. All right, our last three. Suno V3, AI audio and song making program, freaking fantastic. We had the CEO on the show last year, Mikey, on Valentine's Day. That was fun. Got to make a little AI music thing for my wife live in real time, and we kind of demoed their V2. I think that was the first time the rest of the world saw V2. Now V3, it's stupid. It is stupid. That's like a good thing. Like, it is stupid good. I don't know what the cool kids say. I don't know. It's the bomb.com. No cap. I don't know what the kids say. It's freaking good. If you haven't used Suno V3, highly encourage you to do so. I mean, you can even use V2, because I think V2 is free and you can get a taste, right? But you can make a song about anything. Literally anything with natural language. You can write your own lyrics. You can have Suno's AI do it. But V3, it sometimes sounds realer than actual music, right? It is so good. It is concerning, right? Like, one of my predictions has always been, I think that we're all just going to have, in the future, we're not going to be listening to human artists anymore. I don't think we are. Right. I think algorithms, I do think Spotify is eventually going to acquire someone like Suno or someone like Udio. Right. And then, based on all your, listening history, you're just going to get 100, AI generated songs that are going to just hit you right where it counts. Right. You're going to be like, what the frick? This is so me. Right. I think that's where we're going. Suno V3. Has anyone used it? Michael says, C. Okay. Jankali says S for musicians and artists. Yeah, this is for everyday people, but I think that there's a lot of use cases for this for everyday people. So I'm going to go Suno V3. Wait, is there Suno V4? Oh my gosh, I forgot. Suno V4 already came out. Maybe, yes, gosh. I'm sorry, y'all. I meant to say V4. I do this too much. Suno V4. We're going to go, Suno is, there's so many versions of so many different things. It's a B. All right. Last two. Veo. Is it Veo or Veo? This is Google's AI video tool, which was released, quote unquote, released about 2 to 3 days after OpenAI finally revealed Sora. I don't know who is ultimately going to get access, because there was Veo version 1 that was announced like 6 months ago that was still never released to the public. So to me, a little concerning, right? If you have a V1 of a tool and then you release a V2, but you're like, yo, like V1 wasn't even released to the general public. Like, so what's up with that? But Veo2 or Veo2, it is far better than anything else out there, right? Sora had the limelight for like 3 days and everyone's like, oh my gosh, look at Sora. It's so good. If you can get over the fact that Sora doesn't know physics, it's amazing. And then Google says, hold my AI beer. And then geez, it's so good. Veo2, whatever it's called, it is mind-bogglingly good. It is better than Sora. It is better than Kling 1.5, 1.6. It's better than Runway. It's better than Luma Labs. It's better than everyone. And it is not even close. It is not even close. So Veo or Veo2. Brian just says, be nice to get access to Veo. Yeah, I know you can go to like Discord channels. I don't know. Something about doing this thing daily. I don't have a ton of time to go be nice to people. I don't know. Maybe the Google people don't like me because sometimes I'm a little harsh. All right, but where does it go? Where does Veo go, guys? Is it an A? Is it a C? I'm going for Veo. It is so freaking good. I'm going A. All right, almost S. That was another one. It was teetering between V. I think if it was generally available and anyone could use it, I would probably put it as an S. But who knows if this is even going to get released, because Veo1 didn't get released to the general public. So will Veo2? I don't know. All right, last but not least, and this is alphabetical order, y'all. So it's not like there's some big reveal at the end. Zapier Agents, previously called Zapier Central. Amazing tool. So it does have a very familiar Chat GPT-esque interface. So this, I think Zapier has been this like secret tool that the world's best marketers and advertisers have been literally reliant on for a decade, right? I've been using Zapier for a decade. If you don't know what Zapier is, think of it as a very, it's much easier to use now. It is a marketing automation tool that you can literally automate like anything, right? Because that's the thing with, Chat GPT or, Google Gemini, right? You can't really work in real time with your data, with other platforms, right? A lot of these AI tools are siloed. So Zapier breaks that down. Zapier, last I checked, I think it connects to almost 7,000 outside services. So yeah, whether you're talking about, if you're running Meta ads or your company's MailChimp newsletter or your Power BI dashboard, whatever it is, Zapier connects to it, right? So with the new Zapier Agents or Zapier Central, it's literally like going into ChatGPT and building marketing automations that can run autonomously without having to know the details. Because yes, Zapier is, I won't say it's clunky, right? But there's a learning curve. Not anymore. You can literally go, if you can use natural language, if you can use ChatGPT, yeah, you got to be on a paid plan, and it can get a little costly if you need a lot out of it. But Zapier Agents, fantastic tool. Don't sleep on it. So where does this make it on my list? Our last one here. It is a D tool. That doesn't mean it is bad, y'all. That doesn't mean it's bad. All it means is, hey, with all the other top tools, it's a D. Still beat out. It's still in the top 0.1% because there's thousands of garbage AI tools and feature updates that were released in 2024. But that's it. That's it, y'all. All right, let's quickly run this down. Our list, our D tools, top 24 tools, features of 2024, only new releases. D, and this is the top ones. Doesn't mean it's the best. These are just the most talked about ones. So D, we have Apple Intelligence, Canva Magic Studio, ChatGPT Search, Claude Computer Use, Stream Real Time from Google, and Zapier Agents. C, we have Cursor AI. We have 11 Lab Agents, Microsoft Copilot Vision. B, we have HeyGen v3 avatars, Midjourney v6.1, Meta Llama 3.2, Runway v3, Sora from ChatGPT, and Suno v4. And then A, these are almost the top of the top. It is Canvas from ChatGPT, Claude Artifacts, Gemini 2.0, Google Deep Research, and Veo 2. And then our S, our top of the top. We had 4 of them. These are all tested, tried, and true. You can't go wrong using these. Ready? Advanced Advanced Mode from ChatGPT. I think this is the future of how we interact with AI. Microsoft Copilot Studio, autonomous agents. My goodness, so freaking good. Then we have Notebook LM from Google and OpenAI's O1 Pro. All right, as we wrap it up, y'all, I'm going to announce what I think is my AI tool or feature of the year. Go ahead, get your one vote in now. If you haven't already, I'm going to go ahead and bring up that screen here one more time. What is your top AI tool of the year? Go ahead and get your number in. I'm going to get our People's Choice Award in the newsletter. I'm going to go ahead and say what mine is. Imaginary drum roll. Brrr, that was bad. Notebook LM. Notebook LM. And I will say, as much as I love Microsoft Copilot Studio autonomous agents, advanced voice mode from ChatGPT, O1 Pro from OpenAI, Notebook LM takes it, because I think one of the biggest problems through the first 2 years of quote unquote generative AI is trust and transparency. Everyone's like, yo, like we want to use large language models, but they're hard to control, and we can't, we don't have any control over the guardrails, and there's hallucinations. Notebook LM is mind-bogglingly good. It only uses your data that you upload. If you're on the paid plan, I think it takes like 50 million words, which is nuts, right? You can upload audio files, YouTube videos, blog posts, copy and paste, Google Slides, Google Docs, right? It's even if you're not a Google organization, you can just copy and paste everything in or upload your files in, and it only uses that. It is a grounded state of the art RAG model that requires zero expertise. That is wild, y'all. Companies were literally paying millions of dollars for this in like 2021, 2022, 2023. Now it's available. Literally, a lot of these features are available for free if your organization is on the Gemini, the paid Gemini version. It's insane. So yeah, you can share it. It brings you up to a 300 source limit. It is by far, I think, the top AI tool or feature of 2024. It is a paradigm shift, I think, in how we should be using and looking at large language models, right? So thank you all. There is our final list if you want to check it out one more time there. So that's it. That is our top AI tools and features of 2024. I hope this was helpful. Like I said, we have an honorable mentions list. If you benefit from the show, I don't know. I woke up at 4:45 this morning to finish this list because I've been working on it for the better part of 6 months. If you find value from Everyday AI, it takes you like 30 seconds to click that, not even 30 seconds, takes you 3 seconds. Click that repost button, share this with a friend. If you want access to our honorable mention list, please just repost this. Thank you for tuning in for our first show of 2025. I'm excited. If you are too, the next step to grow and make use of all this information is youreverydayai.com. Go sign up for the free daily newsletter. We'll be recapping that and a whole lot more. Thank you for tuning in. Hope to see you back tomorrow and every day for more Everyday AI. Thanks, y'all.